So far, seems like everything is going pretty well. Good. Good, good, good. So, game number 2. Let's get to it. Alright, so far, it's DragOn up 1-0. That's fine. So, we do have DragOn as the white Protoss at the bottom right location, and he's playing trutacz as the red Zerg at the top left location. So, we got Polaris Rhapsody this time. Well, we've seen a lot of games on this map. Actually, we've seen a lot of games on all maps, because, after all, it's the same maps on all the TLCs, I believe. So, yeah, kind of safe to assume that we have seen a lot of every single map. But this one in particular seems to be kind of more popular than others. I would assume it's because the 2-player maps are a little bit more interesting than others. Okay, so let's see what they do. Now, let's see first if trutacz actually wants to go for the overpull again. This is kind of one of the things that I like. I really like to look at how trutacz plays, because sometimes I have the feeling that trutacz plays extremely... it's very easy to predict what he does. But I have seen, like, in 1 or 2 TLCs that he did, like, go a Lingolin, then something like a Hydra Bust, so he can switch it up. It's just that it seems that he prefers more of a standard style. Alright, so we do have the... Is this... Yeah, the overpull. Okay, so that's fine. And DragOn is as well starting with his start of piling up. Alright, so you guys saw that? So after this, you have something which you can watch as well. Alright, probe is gonna scout it. Can't do really too much about it for now. And yeah, we do see the forge first here. And it's probably... I thought it's gonna try to block the hatchery, but... Yeah, just... Yep. That probe... I don't know why it didn't go directly to the natural. It's kind of expected to just go there to block it, but... Okay. So we got... Sorry about that. We had 6 slings. And 1 cannon, probably gateway down here. Okay. Basically, one of the interesting things about PvZ, if you play on an IC Cup, for example, I don't know how old they are. They are old, like they're really old, but who cares? The thing is, with this probe, usually you want to keep alive the probe for as long as possible. And if you're a player who plays on IC Cup, and let's say you play on, I don't know, D level to B level, something like this, you can actually keep the probe alive for a very long time. The thing is, trutacz actually does micro the Zerglings, pretty much like Jadon used to do it. You leave 1 Zergling or 2 on the probe, and then you actually manually try to catch the probe with the other ones. As you can see, it's extremely difficult and for the probe to actually find an opening to get in. There it goes. Because this is a really painful thing. Usually... Oh, that was close. Usually you want to keep the probe alive, so at least you see if the lair is coming out or if it's a Hydra Bust. That's at least how long you want to keep it. But with this kind of micro that trutacz does, it's pretty much impossible. And we do see that 1 probe is going to sneak out and try to get the confirmation, but there are 2 Zerglings on the ramp, so it's not going to happen. Now, so far, a double gas being taken, and no lair, no speed so far, but it's probably gonna be lair. Let's see. Yeah. The way you kind of know it's just 150 minerals, 100 gas instead of 100 minerals and 50 gas, which is where you go for the Hydra Bust. So it seems like trutacz will find the other probe. There aren't many, like, there aren't tournaments, but things are still getting streamed. There actually is content being streamed by I think IC Cup TV does from time to time things. So there's definitely something out there. And personally, I'm not doing any streaming apart from this right now, so it's kind of not really a time problem, but basically because there isn't much to stream. Okay, so we do have a lair relatively fast, and probably a Stargate. Yeah, okay, so Stargate. And once the probe confirms this base is up, I think DragOn is not going to be happy about this. I'm not sure, but personally I think speed for Zealots and a good amount of Zealots work a little bit better when Zerg takes this base, because blocking this base with Sunkens is very expensive. Like one here, one here, one here, and even then it's kind of tricky. So it's kind of expensive to defend this one with Sunkens. This one with Sunkens is relatively cheap to defend, but they're very far away from each other. So if you have a group of Zealots that are running from one place to another, it is problematic to defend. It is problematic actually to defend that. So by going Corsairs, you will get the scout, but you're not going to actually have any benefit from trying to hit this base early on. So let's see if those Zerglings can get any information. They will see the +1 probably, and here's the Citadel. So until the Citadel is done and until speed is done, there's pretty much no damage possible from DragOn to be done. So a lot of economy can be established by trutacz until then, and this is kind of why I think that I'm not sure that is on this map that it's better to just go speed Zealots before instead of going Corsairs, because of course if the Zerg actually, for example, takes this base, right? Takes this base, then it's not that expensive to actually try to get creep up here and defend down here. So in that kind of situation, it wouldn't be that good. But when this base is taken, which is kind of the more juicy one, you can see that already some Sunkens are being placed, even though there's just 5 Zealots. Imagine if this was like 10 +1 speed lots. So I'm not sure how well that works to go for Corsair first on this map. That doesn't mean that it's a bad build, because Corsairs are always the kind of unit that is going to be good as long as you use it all game long efficiently. It's always going to be useful. It's just that, whoa, it's actually going to be Mutas? Now that's surprising. This is weird because it's a 4 hatch, right? No, it's a 5 hatch Muta, but not taking the other gas. I would assume that if you would be going for Mutas because you took this base, you'd want to get this gas as fast as possible so that you could get not maybe a lot of Mutas, because we can see that already Enevo is being planted down, so there is a transition to Hydras coming up, but you might want to keep up with the gas, especially because this one actually mines out fast as well, so I'm not sure. Okay, so speed is 89% done, and the Zealots are caught before they can actually do anything. Now these Zealots, they're not all gonna die, but some of them are gonna take severe damage, so later on they're not gonna be as scary. Actually no, just a little bit of hull damage, so not that bad, not that bad. Actually most of the Zealots don't take that much damage at all. Well, okay, but it's still really a really good position for trutacz. Trutacz can definitely okay. Trutacz can definitely do some damage with these Mutas and then transition to Hydras. And oh, Archons, okay. Archons are pretty good, but the problem with Archons is they don't do really that well against Hydras. So, oh, by the way, guys, for those of you who might be wondering, like, there's one thing. Yeah, I know it's enough. It's enough. I'm just saying that you might want to keep the 4th one as well, if you can. If you especially take that base that is more open, since this base is more open than others, it does feel like the benefit is from the 4th gas, right? I think so. So if you want to take a normal gas base, isn't it better to take one that you can easily defend? I'm not sure. I would assume that's kind of more. Oh, okay. No, I think that was what DragOn was thinking. Like, yeah, I gotcha. Oh nope. That's kind of probably what it was. And on the other hand, Hydras are starting to mount up. And one thing that's curious, and I want to talk about this a little bit, guys. Hydras don't do as much full damage against Zealots, right? But usually the range and everything else like that makes up for it. Now, this is the late game composition. The Archon Zealot style, with later on adding, you know, Reavers, Storm, and things like this. This is kind of the late game composition style that pros really like to play. But the reason why this style is very good late in the game is because you have the armor upgrade as well. Because Hydras do half damage. So an upgrade for you in the armor is more efficient than an upgrade for the Zerg in his attack. So once you have +3, your Zealots become a lot more tanky. And then actually Archon and Zealot plus, you know, Storm and everything else becomes terrifying. But at this point, you know, this isn't that terrifying. When these units are going to be attacking you, that could have gone a lot worse. Like for DragOn, he actually got really lucky in there. But basically, with this, what happens is this Trump? Oh, the drone. Yep, drone goes down. Okay, so basically later on the Zealots become a lot more tanky, so it's a very cool way to play it late game. But if you do it early game, it's problematic because the Hydras can just aim the Archon, shoot it down because it has pretty much no armor at all, and after it's shot down, you can micro against the Zealots. So you will see now with this amount of Hydras that these Zealots are not tanky actually. They're actually really weak. And this is because not only actually it's plus armor, but mostly what you'll see is the reason why most of these Zealots evaporate is because they don't have any armor. Okay, so a good surround is going to come down, but once you kill, look, you kill the Archon, and then you can start microing against this. See? You micro against the Zealots, you just pull this back. You should be microing this. You really don't want to be, okay. I mean, yeah, he was running away with a Mutus, so I get that that's why, but a lot more damage could have been done by this. And even then, you can still see that these Zealots are melting too fast to the Hydras. The +1 is done though, so that's basically why if you want to start early on with the Zealot Archon style, you do have to have Storm. And you actually even need a few Dragoons, so you can't really do rush for it against Zergs that go mass Hydras. Now, after this trade, basically the game isn't over, but if we were to ask DragOn right now, if he was in the chat or something like that, he probably would say that, yeah, at this point I thought I lost the game. Because the problem with this is the Zerg has one more base, actually two more bases than you have. I was trying to say that one more than you would usually have in this matchup. And at the same time, you don't have any upgrade lead, you don't have a massive army on the map that you can actually threaten things with. So basically the Zerg can really decide what he wants to do with this. There's no... even the Hive is coming down, so there's not any problems that the Zerg is going to be facing for the next few minutes. So yeah, probably at this point DragOn wasn't really happy about what the situation of the game was. You can see even a lot of Overlords are starting to be spread out because the Scourges are going to be forcing the Corsairs to be defensive. Okay, so the third will try to be established again. If there's one thing that is a problem is that this army is relatively... the size of the army is relatively big, so even trying to go down this ramp can be difficult against storms. But if they meet right here in the open, then it's really relatively easy to dodge the storms. So okay, so the third will go down, and it seems like trutacz is going to, I'm not going to say allow it, but it seems like he's not going to be contesting it. So at least for now, it seems like the third is going to be safe for DragOn. Now we do see lurkers coming down from trutacz. And, well, see, this is kind of what I meant about the gas. He now made a good amount of lurkers, and he's pretty dry on gas. If he took the gas earlier, maybe, you know, he'd still have, like, I don't know, 500 more gas. So, it's always a good thing. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, that's so bad. DragOn is gonna have to run through a lurker field to get to his base. And yeah. Oh, that's a good storm. Yeah, DragOn seems to be having really good storms. And although this is actually cleaning everything up, you can actually see that the amount of damage that DragOn took from this is actually massive, because he lost a good amount of units. He wasn't able to actually micro with this correctly. And yeah, this is actually... I mean, you still see that DragOn came on top in this battle, right? But that doesn't mean that the game is anywhere close to equal. DragOn is at 111 supply, and trutacz is about reaching the same amount. And as we said in, I think it was in the previous game, as the Protoss you do want to have more supply, like 30 more supply, if possible, to consider the game relatively even. So at this point, yeah, you do want to burrow the lurkers though. No, there we go. So the 4th is going to get cancelled, and it seems at the same time trutacz is taking a 5th, right here. This is going to get, maybe not even going to get, no, it's not going to get cancelled actually. Trutacz didn't actually aim it, so the pylon, yeah, the pylon was taken down, and the 4th is actually going to survive. This is, it's kind of sloppy. Kind of sloppy. I mean, trutacz is taking more bases and everything, so it doesn't seem like he's going to lose this, but it's kind of sloppy. You want to secure this kind of lead if possible. Taking that Nexus down will definitely be a good position for him. Oh, he can definitely screw things up. Block this area and attack down here, but it seems like trutacz is playing like Sauron style. Look at this. Look at the minimap. Look at that red. This is not moving though, but yeah, it's Sauron style, pretty much. And Crack? No, Crack is not done yet. It will be soon though. I'm pretty sure about that. This takes 3rd, and some probes are probably gonna get sniped. No, not really. The probes spawn 1 or 2, but most of the probes are... Oh. Okay, so basically DragOn just lost 2 bases in a very short amount of time, and that's it. Yeah. So it seems like, yeah, that lead was too much. That lead that actually trutacz gained after that destruction of the army, it seems like... sorry, about splitting the army and putting and attacking on the natural. It seems it was too much. Well, that means that trutacz will actually equalize the score. I'm going to take a 30-second break. I'll be right back with you guys.